Welcome to Let's Draw a Drawing. Today we're going to be discussing Mary Jane. Mary Jane is named after the shoe that you can see on the leg that is coming out of that cloud. And I started out with my Staedtler erasable red pencil that I enjoy immensely, and then I selected, before I even started, I selected the colors I was going to use, so it's a pretty limited palette. No blue.
Tell me about the paper. Do you use a certain type of paper that I've seen you go back to over and over again?
Yeah, this is the Rendr paper that comes in the sketchbooks. It's supposedly impervious to even the soakiest of markers, and I've never had it bleed on me, so I'm a fan of it. The texture takes a little getting used to. It feels more plasticky and less papery, but the payoff is I don't have to deal with everything bleeding through.
Which is important. I've seen other books that you have where you have to skip every other page because you're going to have like a buffer page in there just for bleed.
Yeah. So this part, you see, I'm just using a very light gray zig brush pen to go over the lines that I had drawn using the red Staedtler erasable colored pencil. And this is the darkest that this outline will get. I decided that I wasn't going to use black, I was going to use gray so that it's more subtle. And that's what it looks like in black and white. And then once it's all done, then I grab my colored pencils and my magic markers and start filling it in.
Why the shoe?
That's actually a style of shoe that I enjoy wearing. Unfortunately, it's also associated with girlhood, childhood. So it can be somewhat infantilizing when you wear a Mary Jane shoe, but in my mind, when I think of shoes, that's like the second icon of a shoe that shows up. And it's my favorite shoe shape.
Is this part of the conflict series? Is there a visible good versus bad going on here, or bad versus bad?
No, I wouldn't say. It's more like a reaction. Everything is reacting in this picture. So there's the initial thing that's happening, which is this weird sort of horned slug-like creature is crawling out of some sort of portal, and then everything around it, it's like casting everything around it into disarray. So when you first start using the magic markers, they will soak through and make the image darker, but you just have to trust that it's going to evaporate out and it's not going to be as dark as it looks when you first put it on there.
How long does it take to absorb into the paper?
Well, you can see that even though we're doing this at maybe 3,000 speed, it's taking a while. So I would say it takes at least 2 minutes to kind of revert to its final color.
Is that something you felt like you had to, clearly you probably just learned that as you went? You weren't just like, oh my God, did I ruin it?
Yeah. There's that moment of freak out where you're like, oh God, that's too dark. I don't know what I've done. And then you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, so with the weird horned slug comes this wormy guy who I feel like is like a hype man. He's like, everybody put your hands together for slug guy with horns,
He's like the guy that gets to the bar right before last call. He's just like, yeah, party.
Yeah, everybody hates that guy. Yeah. I'm just going to say that right now.
I don't know little back ass words.
Yeah, rainbows don't actually reflect all of the color spectrum, just the color spectrum that I've got pens for.
Mm-hmm. Which are predetermined going into this.
Yeah, so there's not even a body for the leg of the Mary Jane. It's just sort of like a pair of bloomers, and then the leg is kicking. One shoe. I don't even know where the other leg is. It's in the other dimension, I guess.
I would assume so. Whatever's on the other side of that dimension, is everything spilled through this thing, or is it just that worm is coming through?
It's almost like an egg. Like if you look at it, it's like a half an egg. And it's like a clown car egg, so everything just keeps coming out of it. But everything that isn't green is in the dimension that it's coming into, if that makes sense.
It does.
Except for the wings on the brain. Drawing the weird little duck-lipped guy down at the very bottom, who apparently has he has kind of a weird wrinkly ball sack, and those might be udders down there.
Yeah, those balls look bruised, swollen.
They're pink. Who knows? Maybe he
Laden.
got kicked in the balls by the leg, and that's why he's so upset.
I'm seeing this tangerine penguin kind of flying up here in the corner.
Yeah, he's the only one that really looks normal to me. Like, he's the only one that doesn't really have any gross distortions.